It's your boy, Jason Muncie, Indiana Dewey's. Yep. Yep, just getting way out of hand for the fan bases are just going nuts for this game. Yeah. That I'm not very sure how it got this far. I mean, I want to say that Cyberpunk 2077 is getting much better, but I'm not really sure. Uncertainty keeps, you know, keeps me on my toes about rather being on the fence about rather, you know, getting the faircity of you know, the game being the way it is. I mean, chances are the game might end up becoming good, or might end up becoming bad. I'm not really too entirely sure, but I would be remiss if I didn't give it a good old college try. I mean, granted that it's a game and all, I could end up getting on board with the idea, but I'm still not entirely too sure about how things are to go. But with everything going on,
before Hendricks could take him out, the scavenger alerted Gojulan.
You know,
she knew we were here. Reinforcements were moving on a checkpoint
basically
nearby, along with more dead.
It's getting kind of chaotic with things about the cyberpunk game getting, you know, getting out of hand with, you know, yeah, just everything gets crazy and all haywire. Yeah, things are getting too crazy when it comes to the fan base of said game. Like, how could one game get a big fan base the way it did? That's what I'd like to know. And with this being said, and I'm just trying to go about, you know, having said game be, you know, going about the whole popularity thing. And a good size of a fan base for Cyberpunk 2077 is way out there. And I'm just going out on a limb and saying that there's like a ways to end up having a game that don't undermine continuity. Basically having the Cyberpunk 2077 game being, you know, as popular as it is. That I'm not very well adversed with, but I could be either fond or not fond of the idea of having craziness going about it. But it could have been like done differently though. I mean, chances with things are is having the slightest inkling of the way things are supposed to go with a series. I mean, chances are things could get more chaotic. I mean, look at everything else going and end up happening.
Why did they create these displays?
I mean,
what was the purpose?
I mean, chances are
displays. They were art. A way to show off their work, lure their enemies with the dead bodies of friends. Vultures are territorial.
I mean, I just get, you know, kind of confused.
And everything, undead or fellow human. Either way, you
I'm just saying,
competing over the same resources. And now we'd become prey baited into a trap.
Basically, well, what I'm trying to say is things is getting out of hand when it comes to various things. I mean, I would love to have things be, you know, total commerce and all, but it couldn't be more truer to what I'm trying to, you know, make as a point of reference. But I guess things are getting out of control with fan bases coming and going, but games being forever. I mean, I would love for things to be, you know, simple. And, yeah.
A malfunctioning ASP heard the commotion and joined the party. I needed to find a rocket launcher.
I mean, I just want Cyberpunk 2077 to, you know, not be all crazy like it's been. Cyberpunk is kind of getting out of hand with the way things have been going. I mean, it's getting kind of wild and out there with the way things been going. I mean, looking at the statistic rates, I mean, I would just love to have cyberpunk not be that, you know, redacted about the story representation. But I'm just kind of like being remiss because it's getting all crazy. Like, can one thing, you know, not be crazy? I mean, I would love for things to not be, you know, going off the rails with things. I mean, chances are, with things going as the way they are,
set fire to the facility. Gojulan announced herself over a PA. She was inside, and she had a special guest waiting for us.
You know, basically going about the whole thing. Basically, all I want to say is things are just getting too chaotic for I mean, I just think it would just be not as necessary. I mean, looking back on how things are, I mean, I want Cyberpunk 2077 to do better. I mean, I just think it's getting too ridiculous how one game becomes popular. I mean, I would like to know and understand why some games get so popular for about a year or so, I mean, it'd be nice and helpful that things would be, you know, much more simple and much more in-depth and detail about fan bases going about it. I mean, I just want things to, you know, not be as, you know, redactive as things have become more and more intrusive about things being, you know, things are getting more and more intrusive about how things are to be perceived. I mean, I just like to, to get a better understanding of why fan bases go absolute dog shit crazy for one game for about a year or two. I mean, how? I mean, it's just getting out of hand. I mean, I don't quite understand how a video game fan base just goes apeshit when a new game comes out. I mean, chances are things might not end up going so very well. I mean, chances are things are going to end up getting more crazier. I mean, I just don't quite understand how a game gets all popular as shit for about a year or two, then something goes wrong. You know? I mean, I don't really want to shit on Cyberpunk 2077, but it's getting too chaotic. I mean, look at all the craziness going on Twitter. I mean, chances are, with things going chaotic on Twitter, I mean, I'd like to say that Cyberpunk 2077 is just going about it in all the strange ways.
We cleared the plaza. All that was left was to get inside.
I mean, chances are, if I had had a way to jump on the whole,
collapse at any moment.
The whole thing.
Hendricks thought we should stand down. It wasn't worth it.
You push back.
I mean, it's kind of like redundant, though.
At this point, it was our only lead to Deimos. I told Hendricks to